What if the weedy mess in your garden wasn't a problem, but actually a solution? Imagine mowing down your garden weeds and instead of dumping them or burning them, you just leave them on the ground or toss them into a pile. No turning, no layering, no fuss at all. Then picture coming back just a few weeks later to find dark, crumbly mulch and, honestly, a surge of life in your soil. Sounds like a gardening myth, right? But that's exactly what's happening when you mulch with shredded weeds using this lazy composting method. Whether you're working with raised beds, neglected corners, or tired compost heaps, this guide will show you how to transform soft-stemmed weeds into soil-building gold, using nothing more than your mower and a little patience. Weeds are often seen as the enemy, but in reality, they are nature's fastest compost. Their fast growth, lush foliage, and soft stems make them perfect material for rapid decomposition. The trick is to harness their potential without getting caught up in the usual composting complexities, no piles to turn, no exact ratios to measure, and, honestly, no smelly waiting games. This method really flips the script on weed control. Instead of fighting weeds, you feed the soil with them. The process starts with a garden full of soft-stemmed weeds. Think chickweed, lamb's quarters, amaranth, purslane, or even young grasses. These fast-growing green plants are nitrogen-rich and break down quickly if managed properly. Here's where the mower comes in. Instead of pulling and tossing the weeds into a distant compost pile, use a lawn mower or weed trimmer to chop them down right where they stand. If you're mulching in beds, simply mow directly over the area and let the shredded material fall in place. If you're preparing compost, just mow a fresh batch of weeds into a wheelbarrow, then dump them into your compost bay or heap. What's critical here is that the mower acts like a fast-acting shredder. It increases the surface area of each plant, allowing microbes to start breaking them down almost immediately. Soft green weeds don't need turning if they're kept moist and in contact with soil life. This is what makes the method so effortless. There's no need to rotate layers of browns and greens. Just chop, drop, and wait. In a warm, moist garden bed, shredded weeds begin to break down visibly within just a few days. Over time, you can notice them slowly darkening, curling, and sinking right into the soil surface. After about 2 weeks, most of the visible structure just disappears. Then, after a month, all that remains is this soft, humus-like mulch layer with, honestly, an unmistakable earthy smell. This is microbial magic in action. As the weeds decompose, they release nitrogen, potassium, and trace minerals straight into the soil food web. Fungi begin to thread their way through the mulch, and bacterial colonies just explode with activity. The impact on soil is immediate and, well, pretty powerful. Because the weeds break down in place, their nutrients go straight into the root zone. There's no leaching, no runoff. The soil underneath stays consistently moist, shielded from direct sun and wind by the mulch layer. If you dig under it after a few weeks, you'll likely find worm castings, fine root hairs, and soft, crumbly earth teeming with life. One of the most surprising benefits? Weed seeds from the mulch rarely regrow if the pile is dense enough and moisture is controlled. The heat and microbial action near the soil surface are enough to neutralize most soft-stemmed seed heads. This method is especially effective in beds that have been left dry or compacted. The fresh mulch acts like a compost jumpstart, providing both biomass and microbial fuel. If your compost pile has been sitting for weeks without any action, adding a few mower-chopped wheelbarrows of green weeds will restart the biological engine without any turning. Within 24 to 48 hours, the pile warms up, and decomposition kicks back into gear. And because the material is already shredded, the pile collapses and shrinks quickly, reducing the need for manual effort. So one key tip is to always apply this method when weeds are still soft and green. You'll want to avoid woody stalks, mature seed heads, or invasive root systems like Bermuda grass or bindweed, since these can actually persist or even spread. If you're working in a raised bed, mulch right up to the plant stems, but, leave a small gap around young seedlings to avoid smothering them. The mulch layer should be about 2 to 3 inches thick, not piled high, just enough to cover the soil and hold in moisture. And, rainfall or gentle watering really helps the process along, especially in the first few days after you apply the mulch. Over time, repeating this process creates a permanent mulch system. Each new flush of weeds becomes the next layer of compost in place. The soil gets better season after season, with no need for synthetic fertilizer or heavy digging. Gardeners who adopt this method often report fewer pest issues, stronger seedlings, and easier planting conditions in subsequent seasons. It's the kind of passive soil building that fits right into any routine, especially for those of us who love results but not the extra work. For those managing larger garden spaces or even small farms, this technique scales up effortlessly. Weeds grow in every unused space, around borders, fence lines, paths, and fallow beds. Instead of viewing them as waste, treat them as renewable inputs. A weekly mowing and mulching session becomes not just maintenance but fertility management. The mower becomes your compost turner, your mulch spreader, and your soil builder all in one. So, if you're tired of turning compost piles, hauling mulch, or watching your soil dry out, give this lazy method a try. Mulch with what your garden gives you. Let the weeds do the work, and let nature handle the rest. You'll spend less time managing problems and more time enjoying a garden that practically grows itself. If this guide helped you see weeds differently, don't forget to subscribe to Hydro Haven for more regenerative, no-fuss gardening strategies that actually work. Share this video with fellow gardeners who are tired of overcomplicating compost. Let's grow smart, grow simple, and let the soil do what it was made to do.